I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, 33, filming at a rare moment. Rare at least for this week. This week I'm filming. I'm filming on the date of July 9th, 2022, but this video is not going to go up till July 11th, 2022. And I've been saying this a lot in my videos. Who knows what the fucking world's going to look like then? Just 2 days away. And I say it's rare that I'm getting sunshine because it's been storming all week. Ever since the 5th of July, there have been these massive thunderstorms, strange lightning configurations in the sky. And there's a certain event that happened on July 5th that many in the truth community were all buzzing about. That being CERN being turned on. And there are some of us who believe that when CERN goes on, we may dip into another dimension, or another dimension starts to open up and bleed into the one we're in. And some also believe themes that show up in our reality we're primed for in fiction, in movies and books. And I want to point out a couple of movies that came out in the past year. The last Spider-Man movie that came out in December 2021 was all about a multiverse and all about entities from other dimensions coming into this one and altering the reality that which we live. Another big movie that just came out in May of 2022 is the second Doctor Strange movie. All about a multiverse, all about alternate dimensions opening up and reality shifting. So in addition to the crazy weather patterns, let's look at some of the events, these global events that have shown up. So the Georgia Guidestones crumbles, or part of it does. There's an explosion there. Boris Johnson steps down, resigns. Illuminati frontman Boris Johnson steps down. What else? The Apple phone has been buzzing about every day. The former Prime Minister Shinzo in Japan is shot. And all these scandals, some scandal about Bruce Willis shows up, just this bombardment of this type of information, the big shifts. I mean, obviously the Bruce Willis thing is probably the least important. And crazy weather patterns every day. On an individual level, what I've found is big challenges to my soul contract showing up. Big challenges that trigger the trauma and the old identities that I'm being called to let go of have really been showing up, events showing up profoundly in the past few days. And let's take a look at what CERN is. CERN, the intention there, again, and let me mention this before I go into the intention of CERN. We obviously have the statue of Shiva. Shiva, the destroyer from the Hindu philosophy, the god that destroys so that new creation can be born. And the purpose of CERN, allegedly, was to be able to smash atoms, to smash atoms at a subatomic level, break apart something that we thought was the smallest unit of life and break it to something even smaller, to get behind and get to the bottom of what truly is our life, what's truly the foundation. And they found what is known as the God particle. And the belief is that with a super collider, a hadron collider, they can recreate the Big Bang and understand on a scientific level how creation actually works from this materialist perspective. And again, when we tamper with these forces, these forces of natural law, and attempt to play God ourselves, then there's always karma for that. However, it's a great paradox that humans do have the God particle in us. We have the Spirit of God in us, and curiosity and creativity are part of that. So it's good to be curious, but it's arrogant and delusional to think that we can be these standalone gods and creators. And there's a heavy consciousness behind CERN that has that intention. But I'm diverging, I'm digressing. The intention of CERN, of what you're sold, was that it's made to break an atom down to a subatomic structure and recreate the Big Bang. And what they found, again, is that we have a world of matter that has an opposite, has dark matter that is believed to be the glue of our dimension. And if we can tap into the dark matter, tap into the dark dimension, then we're able to access a new level of insight and understanding to who and what we are, going into a dark realm, a shadow realm. So there's a scientific component, and there's also an occult, mystical component to this. But the thing that's happening in the materialist world is what we're having at CERN, which just went on, but now we're having these events show up. And again, all kinds of emotions and chaos and just different forces are coalescing and converging into our world. And regardless of the intentions behind CERN, whether what the truthers believe is real or whether what they say at face value, which I don't believe, is all there is to it, we have to deal with what shows up. Something has been done. This Hadron Collider is on, and we have this butterfly effect, and all these things show up in our world. And whatever's going on, if it's the end of our existence as we know it, we have to deal with it. It's up to us to figure out how we're going to show up. And again, I believe if we're doing our soul contract, if we have a sense of awareness of who we are, of our mission, of what we value, then we're able to deal with what shows up, no matter how chaotic, no matter how cataclysmic. We're able to deal with these energies in a place of sovereignty and strength, and deal with them in the best possible way that honors the truth of who we are and what we came here to be. So with that being said, I challenge you and I encourage you, whatever shows up, no matter how chaotic the world may seem, no matter how distracting these global events may be, no matter how triggered you may be from global events or individual events, collective and individual chaos that may be triggered by something beyond us, I challenge you and I encourage you to stand strong in your values, stay true to the blessing of who you are, and be a blessing to the world that is being reshaped. I'll see you on the other side.